Yo. What is going on, homies? Welcome to the stream. In this one, we got a huge update from the team here, the founders. We got Veve in the house, Crypto Night. Come on, man, let's go. Let's get it. Throw in the red circles. Throw the red circles in. Let's see the homies in the chat today. Or, I know this is a Veve stream, but throw in the green dots, man, if you rocking the that HRO too. We're all part of the same fam, so we're about to tune in live here. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like it's not going to start for another 9 minutes, so we're going to take a look here on the screen. Let's go over here. There we are, and so we still got about 9 minutes left or so on here. 437 people waiting, so we're just chilling. We're gonna hang out here. Red Circle Nation says DC in the house. I agree. Drop in those red circles in the chat here. So I'm super excited about this one. Let me know if you guys are excited. That music is loud. Let me know how the music is. We're gonna turn the music completely off when they start the stream here. So I'm gonna actually do this full screen as well. So, or actually, will it go full screen? I guess I have to wait till they go live. So let's see if we can do that number right there. Get it as large as humanly possible. I'll go to full screen mode too. So. By the way, if you can hear my daughter in the background, she's like running around and playing. So full disclosure on that. Let's see, market down. Any connection to AMA? Nah, just people speculating, I think. Yeah, I think it's just speculation. Yo, what's going on, William? Red Circle Nation. Everyone, dope music. Hey, appreciate that. Got that Daft Punk music feel for sure, for sure. Veve fam and homies, red circle, let's go. Yeah, drop in the red circles if you're feeling it today. Heck yeah. All right, we're 8 minutes closing in. Let me know how you guys are doing today. Let's see if you, let me know in the chat if you're making any moves on in the app and what your strategy is for that. I'm curious to see what some of you are doing in the marketplace today. WTS. So want to sell up chat. You selling your up house, you mean? Let's go. Poor man Printing in the house. OG, man. Let's go. I want to hear some good news. Hey man, it's good to see you, man. I haven't, obviously you haven't updated videos in a while, and you have work and stuff going on, in your real life job and all that. But man, I sure miss you, man. Hopefully we'll see some Alluvium videos coming soon from you. Eventually soon. I know you're big into the Alluvium crowd and the Alluvium community. Poor man Printing in the house, says Rob Brimington. For sure, for sure. Did I miss out on golden moments? No, what do you mean golden moments? I don't think there's any golden moment drops today. I don't think there was a drop at all today. But so I think you're good on that. Although they recently had some golden moments, of course. Buying up all vote. Low key, they're going to start filming season 2 this summer. Long-term play, says play to earn. Hey, welcome into the chat, man. Yes, sir. Alluvium it's making big moves for sure, for sure. Oh, close all day, so no moves. That's right. That's right. I didn't know it was still closed. I haven't checked this morning. I knew it was closed because I saw the update at like several hours ago. So, hey Augie, can you shut that door? Oh, she did. My daughter. Let's see if I can do. Let me see if I can do a side shot. See if you can see my daughter. Here, I'll get it. Don't worry. See if we can get her in the screen here. Price of gold moment skyrocketed. It's crazy. It's my daughter back there. We're live in the Space Lab. No big deal. No big deal. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. A lot of people were talking about the golden moments. Crypto Keeper says, "What's up, Kyle? Listening at work, no choice. I am not missing this. Heck yeah. Future Omi homie, LOL. Heck yeah, let's go. Poor man, when Illuvium going to start, bro? They're in that demo, right? They got the demo out in like survival mode. We're about 5 minutes out. Yeah, 5 minutes on the hour. They close it for a reason. Depending on what they say, it might make the market go crazy. What if, imagine that. What if that was like, what if this low-key was a big update? We're all curious what's going to go on. Yeah, I've seen sentiment on both sides. You know, people not really caring about this update. Alex G already saying like, hey, it's not like a super big update. Like, don't get your hopes up kind of thing. So that's what, you know. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I need to get buff because like this side shot, you know what I mean? Like I gotta get jacked again. Yeah, so I can look like Traps Wellington. I gotta show off my back shelf too. Come on, man. Todd McFarlane back there. May the force be with you. Let's go. Ganini from Spain. Hey, Spain, welcome in the chat. Good to have you today, tonight, all across the world. Thoughts and prayers in that region. I know Spain's like further, but you know what I mean. It's Veve for life, but quick thoughts on HRO. HRO is very interesting. I like the product. I like the platform, and I like the tech. So those are three things that are big on my list, and they have obviously the IP. They did the CS:GO or Counter-Strike cards, and they sold out of those. It just seems like a well put together project. Now they got a ways to go. You know, they got a ways to go before they're like a Veve. You know what I mean? So very cool though. I like it. It's something to do outside of drops. You know, when I'm not doing a drop. Not in the marketplace in doing Veve stuff. It's a good like supplement, you know what I mean? So like, you know, Veve is like the main course, and HRO is like my asparagus, you know, that makes me buff and strong, you know what I'm saying? Which is what I was looking for in a platform. I've been looking for a while. I've done the autograph.io, great platform. I've done a lot of other platforms and tried them out, but HRO is a good medium because you got the physical and the digital together. So I think that's always good. And Veve's going that direction too. So I'm excited for that as well. I bought in quite a few packs, not as many as Kay and the Gale, but I have some cards on the way. So I'm excited about that. I'll be buying some more. And so, yeah, app updates. That's why market closes. Yeah, that's true. App updates will do that. It's closed due to gym fraud. If that's the case, then they're gonna lock down those accounts. Probably. That's probably why in the black market we're seeing gyms go for cheap. I would imagine. Those bots are getting flushed out. 80K away from becoming an Omi millionaire. Heck yeah, let's go. Constable Corn. Michael Elomio just subscribed. Appreciate you for joining the big red circle gang in the house. Let's go, baby. Yo, what's up, Tyrus Taylor in the house, man? Hey, Tyrus, I recognize your name with the because I know you are big into Immutable X, man. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you today. Yes. Thank you for subscribing, Michael. Appreciate you for having you. What time are we starting? We're starting in 60 seconds. Oh, they said, oh, they're not ready yet. 6 minutes. They just postponed it, looks like, on the screen, literally. Let's see if we can zoom in and show you guys what happened. You can't see it through the clutter. Right there, you can see it right there. They just postponed it another 5 minutes. Keep going. Won't these be prices for long? I bought 1 million Omi at 0.0028. Yeah, that's insane, man. Like, just to put that in perspective, like 0.002, if it just goes up to 0.004, you basically, I mean, you bought twice as much as somebody that bought at 0.004, and then so on, right? Until it gets to a penny. So you're like, your money goes so long at the low prices, you know, 3, 4, 5x in just in the short term. Long term, you're looking at, you know, 50 to 100 x's, like long term, right? That's where you're gonna win the big bucks. NFTs, I love the name, man. NFTs, I love that. Yo, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the chat today. I love it. Typical delays, LOL. Is anybody here from Canada buying Omi on which exchange? Anybody in the chat? My daughter's like literally jumping on a beanbag over there. It's awesome. Michael Marquez is, so yeah, is anybody in the chat buying Omi from exchanges? Asking, is Michael Marquez? Are they live? Thought it was pre-recorded. No, they're not live, but this is alive. I mean, essentially, Alexander Langus, welcome to the Big Red Circle gang in the house. My daughter sounds like she's doing karate. What's going on?
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Hey, can you tell everybody over here? Can you wave at everybody?
Yeah.
Wave at that camera right there. Say, where are you going? She went all the way around. They can't see you from over there. Oh well. So yeah, this is pre-recorded, but technically it's new to us. So as they premiere this, it is going to be essentially live to us, right? Because everybody's going to be getting the information at the same time. Crypto learn. Can they see you? I can see the top of your head. Raise your hand up high. Say me, and then wave.
Me.
Now wave. Woo. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, we're on the wrong. Let me go to this one. There we go. All right, watch out. Yeah, thank you for subscribing, Alexander. Appreciate you. Yo, salute. We got an OG, triple OG, double quadruple OG, builder OG, vault extraordinaire OG, true tech junkie in the house. Yo, salute, Kyle face. Whatever my little chat app says. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't populate emojis. It's just kind of goofy. Yo, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. Good to see you. A dollar cost average and now have 3.8 million Omi. That's insane, man. You're killing it. I still like, it's embarrassing, but I don't have as much Omi as you guys and gals and Jedi and Sith. Baptiste Charles is so cute. I appreciate it. Where's the link? What you need? What link to what? Blitz Sniper in the house, man. Haven't heard you from you in a while. Good to see you. OG in the house. We got about 100 people in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see everybody. The Omi homie fam in the house. There's 2,200 people on their stream. Like, I know there's other people going live as well, but like, man, we have like everybody is showing out in force. This is one of the biggest updates, like, even though it's not going to be a big update, so they say. Like, I haven't seen this many people tune in a while. It's been like since a Twitter space. Hey, little homie, dope setup, bro. You know, gotta keep it real. Gotta keep the Streamlab 100. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's up? You hungry?
Yeah.
Hey, you can have a little bit of this. How about this?
Yeah.
Some lemonade. You gotta make sure you don't spill it, all right?
Okay.
That's how you do the kids right there. You get them a little bit of that sugar drink, and then they do their thing. All right, so I stepped out of the vault. What the heck is going on? Yo. That is hilarious, bro. I don't know, we're waiting. We got 60 seconds, so they say. Bro, do you work? Do you go to work? This is my work, bro. This is my life, my work. Is the Omi AMA going to be recorded somewhere? Yeah, it's going to be on their channel. And of course, this, you can watch the replay. So no biggie there. All right. Let's see. Maybe not the best angle. It does look like I'm looking at it though. Like, look at Dan right there. And all we need to see is David use hair. That's amazing right there. Look at his hair, just perfect. We also saw the screenshot with Alex G. Hair good, feel good. Let's drop this update. Kurt Ling just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, Kurt. Thank you for joining the Big Red Circle Army. Gang in the house. All right. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. I might do this one. Which one do you guys like? This one? Or should we just go back to... I could turn everything off on this one, actually. Like, we can do just full screen mode. And I can turn it all off, and then we'll go full screen on that. I think that's what I'll do. What do you think is coming up in this AMA? Probably like just software, like tech stuff. I think that's really all that it's going to be honest. Like, hey, we're working on this and working on updating our back end or something. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not too big. I mean, if it is, it'll surprise us. Hey, dude, put on the Veve side for a while. And like the girl said, it's really cool. HR came out right now to get our minds to focus on a different subject for a while. Bought a bunch. Hope it'll be fun. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's fun. Definitely, like, not like a lot of the people in the community have been like sort of negative, like sentiment wise, like, and it was good to get away from that, you know, and get reinvigorated or like re-excited about something. And HRO was a perfect like timing wise, and this whole dip and all that good stuff. So yeah. Wow, there's so many people. Oh my gosh, it's insane. I like the view. That is the actual AMA. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh. Let's see, make sure. Okay, it's not live just yet. I'm gonna smash the like. Smash the like, by the way, on this stream too. Make sure we get it out to the YouTube overlord algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I like the view that is the actual AMA. All right, so we will do that then as close as possible. So it'll be like it's like we're watching it live here too. So by the way, shout out to all my channel members. You see that scroll bar going across. Shout out to all my channel members and Patreon members. You can join for less than a cup of coffee per month. No big deal. And you get like cool badges and stuff in the Discord. They look so happy. I know they're like, it reminds me of the Marvel announcement when they announced Marvel. They're like smiling all like little kids, you know, like you caught your first Blastoise or your first I don't know, your first Pokemon. You're like, ah. Oh, message came up. They had to reload as it has issues. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm gonna refresh, and then also check this out real quick too. All right, yeah, I don't see from Alex. Yo, Mary USDV8. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining, and welcome to the Homie Red Big Red Circle gang. Yeah, in the house. Yo, what's up, Rob? Yo, what's going on, my man? Message came up, they had issues from Alex. Hey, we'll start soon. Hashtag soon. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. We got a minute, 50 seconds. Oh my gosh. Big hype. Big hype. All right, I'm gonna close down a couple of things here. Let's see, we close a couple things down. And let's go ahead and get it full screen. All right.
I love you.
I love you too. My daughter said I love you. All right, let me go ahead. All right, I'm gonna minimize my cam.
In a while, even though I do very much talk to you every day, but the community hasn't seen you in quite some time. So very excited to get these old school kind of video updates, I think what I've done before my time here, back into circulation. So really excited to get through a bunch of things today. I'd mentioned on Twitter that it has now become another one of my adjective memes, that it was going to be a meaty update. And so that is the new spicy, apparently. So, you know, shame on me for using adjectives. But we have a meaty update today, lots of things to get through. And I think with that, we'll just get right into it. First off, starting with a few updates, ongoing things. We just kind of want to always do some FUD busting off the top. Dan, we are still seeing a fair amount of error messaging sometimes during drops. And that is things like heavy server load. Phone does not meet security requirements. Can you give us an update about what might be happening there and how we're getting around those issues for people?
Yep, absolutely. So to kick off with the second one with the security updates, obviously, as you guys know from our previous AMAs, I know that's going back a while, but we are doing a lot of work to keep bots out of the system. And often that is, finding a right balance. Sometimes that balance might go a little bit too far, and we get what's called a false positive, where you're seeing that security requirement message. So do apologize for anyone who has been affected by that. It is like I say, a nice ongoing balance that we are working very hard on. Secondly, the heavy server load message. Ultimately, that kind of comes down to the drop model that we're using right now. I've mentioned a couple of times in previous AMAs that the current drop model, while it's fun and exciting, it does put a lot of load on the servers, and we still have so many new users coming into the platform. However, the good news is that when we move to the waitlist system, which we'll have an update on that shortly, the system will run significantly more smooth, just to the general mechanics of how that works. So I know we have a couple of updates getting rolled out this week to try and minimize that heavy server load message. But ultimately, when we roll out the wait list, which is not far off now, that will be heavily reduced.
Great. Yeah, so that is perfect. Thank you very much for that. And hate to get off on that foot of FUD busting, but it's always, the most questions we get on a daily basis, and sometimes when people experience that. So tell us a little more about the kind of the roadmap in terms of fixing some of the just general app functionality, like search and bookmarking seems to be not working for some people in the app.
Yeah,
currently.
Right now we're internally, we've been, and this is, to be honest, one of the reasons you haven't seen us, that we've obviously been going through, massive work on the app internally. We've got drops that need to be adhered to, for licensor reasons, and then we're constantly making improvements in the back end of the app. Some of them may not really be that apparent, but the dev team's working very hard just to try to make the overall experience better. Now, one of the features that we will be working on very early in Q2 is upgrading the search system. So it's just a lot easier. You can search by edition numbers. You can have better filters. You can search for comics, all of that stuff. So early Q2 will be kicking off the search updates. And the bookmark one, it's so random. Sometimes in the app, these things just work perfectly for 12 months, and then all of a sudden they have a problem. So devs are absolutely aware of it. We know it's a highly trafficked feature. So I hope to have a fix rolled out for that in the next update.
Perfect, thank you. Speaking of updates, we just saw a few updates come to the app, including updates to the market tab and some other things. Do we want to cover that quickly?
Yep, absolutely. So we decided that for a couple of reasons that the main update we'd make to the market landing page is to show the trending results rather than latest individual collectibles. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. One is server load. We just need to make sure that, because the market is the highest trafficked area in the app, and we need to keep a lot of these screens very optimal. However, you can still go to market collectibles if you want to see all of the latest listed that's coming in. And the whole idea around the trending was basically that, we see patterns in the app where we do a drop, and then the most sought after item in the market after a drop is the drop collectibles. And that's one of the reasons that we've updated the market landing page to show trending over the last 24 hours. So, for those of you who missed out on a drop, it's going to be more than likely right there in front of you on the market.
Perfect. Great. All right, so let's get into some roadmap stuff. I know there's kind of a general turning of the tide as of late on our socials of people needing updates, right? As you mentioned, you guys haven't been on the latest AMAs because you've been hard at work. There's a lot to do, obviously. So Reese and I have been kind of holding down the fort. But it's always good to hear from the boss men themselves about general and larger scale kind of platform updates to kind of address some of the frustrations of the Veve fam in general. And those are things like, obviously, the difficulty and landing a drop. I know I'm frustrated as well. I have not landed a drop in many, many moons. Let's talk about some of the things that we're doing to improve the way people experience the app from a security standpoint to make sure that bots aren't, running rampant within the experience. And one of those things is that we get suggested a lot to do is to implement KYC. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Definitely. From our perspective, we will absolutely be introducing KYC into the app. I mean, ultimately, we want to make sure the experience for all of our users is fair and democratic, and we also want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to remove these nefarious actors from the platform. Now, in saying that, I'm not saying that bots still run rampant. As I've mentioned, there always are bots, and it's very much a whack-a-mole kind of game. However, we will be introducing KYC. Right now, the laws here in New Zealand around KYC are very strict, as in New Zealand has actually put a line in the sand to say that we want to be the hardest country in the world to launder money. So that's very good in the sense of protecting our users and improving the experience, but it also means there's a lot of compliance on our side that we need to do, especially in this new age of digital assets where things are still a bit sort of fuzzy to some degree. So KYC will be rolled out. Basically, the way it'll work is that onboarding users will need to KYC at some point during the onboarding. And any existing users will, when the KYC is rolled out, they will be prompted to KYC when they next log into the app. Now, don't worry, we're going to give you guys plenty of warning on when this needs to happen and the whole general sort of process. But really looking forward to getting this feature rolled out because it's going to improve the overall experience within the product.
And then, in addition to that, it's probably going to help the fact that we have, basically when we find bots, for instance, in the market, the plan, their plan seems to be that they have all of these accounts and they all send gems to and collectibles back to the single account to then list on the market. But the KYC will actually help that in some regard. Is that correct?
Significantly. I mean, ultimately, as part of the KYC and the anti-money laundering compliance here in New Zealand, there are a few updates that we will actually need to make on the app in order to comply and also to help combat the points like Alex just mentioned. So one of the first features that will be updated within the next week, I believe, is the removal of gem transfers. So under KYC laws, under AML laws, technically they are assets and they can't be moved around between different users. And the other big upside is, as Alex mentioned, we see the bot patterns of what they do, buying gems, distributing them. So removing that feature alone is really going to, significantly hurt the bots in terms of their current practices.
Wow, that's great news. I think the community will definitely be glad to hear that. Perfect. Okay. Let's move on then to, we talked about the gems transfer removal. Let's talk about then the other hot topic of every day, and that is payout /MTL/cash out. Where are we at with beta testing?
Yeah, so we are still in live beta test at the moment. We have our group of beta users. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this New Zealand compliance law is something that's been upgraded fairly recently, and that ultimately is what's caused a bit of delays on our side. So things like, we have auditors going through everything that we're doing, and that's where they're picking up things like you need to move gem transfers before, we can start really rolling out these features. So ultimately the tech is there, we're ready to go. We're just down to these final things with compliance. We really have been there for a while, but it is just these, the laws in New Zealand here, which ultimately are a good thing, even though they're causing us a little bit of extra work at the moment.
Yeah, I feel that.
Say that, we are absolutely aware that, payout is a feature that everyone wants. And yeah, we're not resting on our laurels on it. We are very in touch with what the community is saying and what they want. So, please be rest assured that we are working hard to get this feature rolled out for everyone.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's also worth noting that, there's completely different teams working on implementing the KYC and the MTL than there are people who kind of, implement the drops. So when people suggest that we stop drops and focus on MTL, it's just really two different things. And we are, after all, a collectibles app, so we want to enable collecting. So
stopping the drop wouldn't speed up really anything.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about then, kind of the rollout as we mentioned. There have been delays since when we first started mentioning this on Twitter, and people love to refer us back to those early tweets that say, "Hey, we should be good to go in 2 weeks," as with many things. But at the end of the day, we have tried to do our best to keep everybody updated in terms of the goalposts moving, so to speak. I think I've said in the way I've kind of put it in the past. So thank you for shedding some more light on that. But I think the overall kind of KYC portion of this is going to have far-reaching implications across the app, and I think it's just going to be a positive thing for the community and the ecosystem as a whole. So let's then move to as we continue to move live beta testers in. Let's talk about the fee structure, which seemed to be also a hot topic as we put that article out now several weeks ago. David, can you tell us a little bit about how that all works and why the 10%, et cetera?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's before we put all these fees and terms and conditions structure in place, we look through the whole fundamental of our business. And as every user acknowledges that right now, our payment mechanism and platform of payment are through the Apple Pay, which collected by the Apple App Store, as well as the Google Play Store, which is the Android payment mechanism. Both of the platform, all our users understand that they do take a fee of 30% when you are purchasing the gems. That's number one. And number two is we do pay in each of these 282 plus jurisdictions or regions, countries, sales tax. And these are the digital tax and the sales tax that you will normally face day to day in each of the shops that you go and to retail. Right now, in a lot of these regions, that Veve as an app is bearing all these costs. So therefore, just giving you an example, the $100 gems that you purchase, when it does land into our bank account, sometimes it's as low as we only get 55% of that. So to balance the ecosystem a bit better, we do have to introduce these withdrawals. And there's a couple of reasons why we brought this in. Number one is the deterrent for anti-money launderers. So people is not just really using credit cards to launder money from one account to another with no fees involved. And number two is really what I mentioned there, is to keep the buffer to ensure the liquidity and the cash ecosystem going. Now, it is very important that our users do understand that you do not need to purchase gems ahead of a drop. And with the new update coming up, this will further, to put this message out, because you'll be allocated these collectibles to purchase, and then you will be paying at the checkout at that time. And obviously, we're going to see a few of these reducing fees will be coming out once we start the website. And when we roll out the website, there will be a payment gateway where we no longer have to pay some of the service provider these heavy platform fees.
Got it. So with the web version, the web platform, that'll serve as a way around the Google and Apple ecosystems. Not so much around, but it'll reduce some of those fees that are automatically implemented.
And our audience really should understand that as part of our roadmap originally 3.5 years ago, and the landscape is ever changing. That's why we're changing the ability to have the withdrawal. Is that at the start when we built the app, we never actually intended to have this withdrawal function, or what we call the payout. So this become a big burden on us, and for us to execute and for us to learn. Some of the newer apps or some of the newer platforms are out there. They have that in their roadmap exactly built in as part of when they develop it. So for us to go back in and really to focus in the technology and build that, it does take a lot longer. And as we progress, the laws are changing. What Daniel had mentioned, the KYC and the MML law is constantly being upgrading. So it is important for us to decide, do we put something in place now that is going to be future-proof, at least for, not a short-term patch up for 3 months, and our user found out, the payout is going to stop because we do another upgrade. So we want to ensure everything runs smooth. And with all these moving parts, unfortunately, I'm here to apologize that we will, we have paid a lot of attention and to ensure this is rolled out.
Great. Okay, so in terms of rollout, obviously we've talked about, we have a group of beta testers in that are doing specific tasks. Just want to reiterate that it is not an early access thing. It is specifically beta testing to make sure that we're uncovering any of the bugs and things like that. This is. Can you talk about? Are we still on track with the plan of kind of randomly assigning people in the community beta access moving forward? Or where are we at with that rollout? And can we communicate our progress on that ongoing?
Yeah, so you are correct, Alex. We will be randomly choosing users who basically meet the criteria of the payout and inviting them into the beta program. Once we are at the point where we have got everything kind of nailed down, especially in terms of the compliance and the points that I mentioned earlier. So we just need to be careful that we we're basically following the laws, and we're really above board on everything we do with this, because KYC AML is a very hot topic around the world right now. And to touch on what David said, is that really we are aiming to put a long-term solution in place that is scalable. We can roll out other features in the future. So so when we are at that point, then we will basically start bringing users in. And we will, of course, for those users who may have, higher gem balances, we may prioritize them, to ensure that they can get returns out of their accounts.
But it won't be limited to people with high gem balances, correct?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right.
I was saying that we may include those, or maybe give some of those people a little bit more weight at the randomization. But obviously understand that, everyone wants to cash out their gems if you've got 1,000 gems in there.
And we'll need some of those higher balances to make sure that everything is working properly, obviously, because if we just did people with just the $1,000 gem threshold, then we're not really fully testing the full spectrum of withdrawal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And just as another note, as part of the whole beta testing, we have experienced a vast new things that we never thought it will happen in our lifetime. There's our payout provider facing sanctioned countries, limitations. So all these new updates all constantly has been running. And, in the past week, there has been slight bottlenecks on our testing process from when we load them in and when they're able to exit. What we don't want is have it available for everyone, and that bottleneck is bigger and bigger, and then we get more FUD from the community. We only want to put out things that we know is going to work and it's going to be a solution moving forward.
Yeah, and also to add to that, really what we're rolling out immediately is the global solution. And, we could choose specific region to roll out. That is significantly easier than, rolling something out on a global platform. So that's why we say, we just want to get a very solid solution that serves all of our customers worldwide and get that out. But also to, what Dave mentioned earlier, we do apologize for the delays, and we know that it is something, very much that the community wants, and we are working very hard to get it across the line.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's move on then. Another question we get quite frequently is comics in the showroom. Can you talk about where we're at with that?
Yes, and I also get a lot of stick from everyone in the company as well, because they're like, Daniel, just get damn comics in showroom. And it absolutely is moving up the list, but there are, I don't want to prioritize comics in showroom over payout or over the web platform or over KYC. I mean, these are core fundamental things that we, as a business, we should be focused on. However, we are still chipping away at what we're doing with comics and showroom. So we're down to the last little bit now, where actually, I won't say it because I don't think we've sort of discussed how we're going to be displaying comics and showroom at the moment. We'll save that for a nice reveal at some point. But again, do hear you. My job is to prioritize, what I feel the key features are from a business level, yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. The other hot topic, or one of the other hot topics rather, waitlist, commonly known as the drop queue, or basically anything other than what we have now, fastest finger. Where are we at with the waitlist?
Fastest finger in the West. Waitlist is coming along very well. That is has been in our staging test environment for a number of weeks now. We've run a number of test drops. Everything's gone very well. We're still in the process of doing the load testing, which basically just confirms that the waitlist will work very well under pressure with 1 to 200,000 users trying to join that waitlist at the time. Now, in April, we should be rolling out the first waitlist drop. And I think I may have mentioned previously that for the initial period when we roll out the waitlist, we will still have the 2 drop models. Yep. So we're going to choose some specific drops. Maybe it's going to be some cool Veve collectible paraphernalia or something. And then users can basically come in and participate in that waitlist drop. From that, we can get a very good understanding of how things, work out there in the real production world with the waitlist. And from then on, once we feel very confident with it, we're basically just going to make the switch. And now, for those users who may not know, the waitlist basically is a randomization feature when it comes to the drop. So as the drop approaches the drop time, 15 minutes before that, you will be able to join the waitlist. And then at the time of the drop, the system will basically randomly choose users on that waitlist, and then you'll basically get a notification in-app to say that, hey, you've been selected, and then you can go in and now buy the edition. So a couple of key reasons we're doing this is, number one, it's going to get rid of the majority of the heavy server load. It's going to resolve some of the issues people have buying gems during the drop time, and it's also just significantly more democratic. Plus, it gives us a lot more time to scan users on the wait list leading up to the drop. So overall, I think it's going to be a far more positive experience, and your odds of getting collectibles are going to go up.
Great. And so, just to kind of touch quickly on the buying gems at drop time, the heavy server load and some people reporting that their gem purchases are failing at time of collectible reservation, those are kind of related, right? So the drop wait list will essentially kind of alleviate all of that.
Absolutely,
correct?
Yeah. Because like I said, the current drop system is very heavy on the server. Even though everything is very very streamlined, we basically just need to move to a more efficient drop model, which is why we've been developing the wait list for the past sort of 4 months or so. Okay,
so first test in April, and then hopefully rolling out in May. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
If I'm to keep you to timelines.
yeah, should be May. Just assuming that everything does go fine.
Sure.
With the testing, obviously there's going to be a little bit of a test period there, but I mean, ideally, we always want to get these features out as fast as we can. Dave and I aren't just sitting there going like, hey, how many drops can we do this month? We really do want to get them out quickly, but it also means that they require quite a bit of development time, because all of these things are basically tailor-made custom solutions for the Veve platform. It's not like we can just go plug in a feature that we subscribe to for $10 a month. It's a lot of involved development.
Got it. Okay. Moving on then, let's talk about MCP, Master Collector Program. Where are we with that?
So MCP is still going along well. I think we've got the majority of the back-end work done. I was just talking to the developer the other day about some of the final calculations. So once all of that is basically set up in the back end, from early Q2, we'll basically be kicking off development on all the front end. Getting all the interface done, building what the back-end guys have done into the front end. And that's going to include the features that we have already outlined in our Master Collector Program article on our Medium channel. And we have been rolling it out in the phases that we've listed at the bottom there.
Yeah, I'll include the link to that blog article in the description, so make sure you check that out if you're not familiar with it. But just to quickly touch on MCP, just so everybody's quite aware, those points are retroactive from the day you joined. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Yep. It would be rude not to.
Yeah, just want to reinforce that so nobody's losing out on the points that you've worked so hard in collecting. Okay, great. That's helpful. I think that'll go a long way in making adding some light gamification to our collecting efforts. Okay, great. All right, the other thing we do get a lot of questions on is now that we've migrated to L2 with Immutable X, when is interoperability happening? Can we see the metadata and the Mutascan data, sales history data, so people can make better and more informed decisions about what they're buying on the market, and can see generally the who has owned these things before, and can just generally be more informed about the ownership of their collectibles?
Yeah, so two points there. So number one, in terms of the historic value and the ownership, that is something that we'll be building into our platform. So when you actually are in the market or you're viewing a collectible you own, you will be able to see all the previous owners, get graphs of the sales history, highs, lows, that kind of thing. Very soon, I believe in a couple of weeks, the developer will be starting on the metadata that comes with the collectibles. So that when you view it on IMX or Mutascan, you will be able to see the metadata. You see the image, the name, the edition, the current owner. All of those kind of features will be built in. And yeah, most of the the NFT OMI stuff, which I know we're going to touch on shortly, we have a lot of that slated in our Q2 roadmap. So there's a few key things that we need to get out the way this quarter. And then we'll really be starting to dive more heavily into these features like MCP, etc.
Great. And just to be clear, some of those things that we were waiting for in terms of interoperability, for instance, Mutascan data is largely IMX dependent, meaning that they are still kind of onboarding, for instance, OpenSea to the platform.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yep. Right. Yep. So we're working very closely with them, just keeping up to date on where they're at with the marketplaces and various features that we need to roll that out.
All right. Perfect. All right, David, let's go back to you. We've been kind of mentioning, this over the last several months that this was coming. We have yet to kind of formally name it or give it a proper name on the Veve side, but we have been kind of generally referring to our artist program as Artist Alley. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is and where we're at with it?
Yeah, as all our fans know, we pay a big emphasis in the Artist Alley program because we really do believe that the contents, even with all these licensed brands, they do come from the artists. We have a multiple program happening. Obviously, we have seen the drops increase with different artists. This month, we will be announcing new artists that's coming on board and their drop. We are going to also be rolling out a new product category, all brand new category that will be featured and focused on about a lower edition runs. And this will be coming out hopefully with the website interface coming out with a new way for our user to be participating in the auction process for these.
And so those are things, just so I can wrap my head around that. So once the web platform rolls out and we have a little more formal program around what we're referring to as Artist Alley, but that'll include things like low run artworks, low edition run artworks, or maybe even one of ones.
Yeah, you can pretty much
All right. Well, we'll edit this out on the cutting room floor. This goes. I don't know, just kidding. All right. So, speaking of the web platform, that is another item that has been a long time coming. Dan, I believe maybe you have a little something for us today.
Great. So yeah, very, very excited to launch the web platform. What I'm going to run you through today is a bit of a demo of how it all works. And as I've discussed in the past, really this is just a web interface to the app and the product that you're using now. So you can expect all of the same functionality, but the advantage of the web platform is that there will be additional features that we will be rolling out that'll be web only. And in addition to that, we've really spent a bit of time improving areas like how the market works, the way you can view your collectible listings, what you're bidding on, what you're selling, what you're buying, just to provide a little bit more clarity to our users who do use the market. So starting off, as you can see across the top, we've got all the same main sections or categories that you see in the app, from store all the way through to profile. Right now we're on the store landing page, and most of you will probably recognize this. It's very, very similar. Across the top, we've got all of our main categories from collectibles, comics, drops, brands. As we come down the page, we see all of our most recent drops, our most recent collectibles, comics, etc. So there's not going to be a huge learning curve to use the web platform. In fact, we've modeled it very closely after what everyone is used to. So I can obviously dive into each of these sections and look through all of the individual collectibles that we've dropped in the store. I can choose to filter them, if I'm looking for specific items. Same with comics. I can come in and browse all of the comics that we've dropped on the Veve platform. And one thing to note that we have kicked off a fairly big upgrade to the whole comics section. Now that we're getting a lot of comics in the platform, just different ways to filter them and find them and use them and read them, etc. Obviously, we've got our drop section where you can go back and look at all of our previous drops, whether that be collectibles or comics, and all of our different brands. Obviously, I was scrolling through this the other day and I was like, wow, there's a lot of brands in here that we've dropped. So store, you can anticipate, will be very similar to what you're used to now on the app. And when we roll the web platform out, it will only use the waitlist drop model. So jumping into our collection, obviously at the top here, very similar to the app, we've got all of our showrooms across the top here. I can continue to add showrooms, manage them, and we can jump in and show you a preview in just a moment. As I scroll down my collection, I can of course see all of my collectibles. I can see all of the comics that I own, all of my different sets. Haven't currently got anything on my wish list, but I do have a couple of custom lists set up on this particular account. Of course, I can dive right into all of my collectibles and have a look at them. We've got some much better filtering and sorting features at the top here for our users. We know that they want to go in and say, I just want to see all my Batman black and whites. Another feature that we're rolling out for both comics and my collectibles is the estimated value. And we can see up here, this estimated value of this particular account collection. Please note this is a test one, so right. I wish it was 4.1 million, but
I was going to say.
It is.
Holy mackerel.
Now, the estimated value is basically does an automatic calculation based on the floor price of each collectible you own, and then it will essentially update that a number of times per day, so you can really get clarity over what the total value of your collection is worth. And then we'll be expanding that feature in the future to again have your highs, lows, and your general sort of graph over time. Obviously, we can also dive into the comics that we own. So I can click on any comic, view all of the details. Because I own this one, I can choose to sell it. I can sell it as a fixed price, or I can sell it as an auction. And of course, we have the transfer feature for users that want to transfer them to others. And we'll jump back to the showroom in a moment. The feed I won't show you just yet. We're doing a few final little updates on that one. So I'm just going to jump straight to the market. Again, we've got the same trending feature that we have rolled out on the app. And you'll see on a lot of the collectibles, we're now using this little color code system down the bottom here. Some of which you may have seen already in the app, but just to provide that little bit of extra clarity on exactly what rarity the particular collectible is. Now, of course, like the app, I can go in and I can browse all of the collectibles. By default, this section will be filtered by date listed. So, if you are wanting to look at what's coming up, you can basically just refresh the screen. And of course, you can filter by all your brands and rarities, etc. Same deal for comics. I believe we've got one more filter to add up here, so you can filter by series if you're wanting to, finish your collection of all the amazing Spider-Man or Captain America. Under my bids, again, we've broken this down to be a little bit easier to use because this is a test account. Obviously, I'm not bidding on anything at the moment, but we could go in and have a look at, say, all the collectibles that I'd lost bids on in the past, and why I lost, how many bids there were, all the particular collectibles that could have been that I've won, and then of course, when I come into this section, it'll have all of my open bids listed here right on the screen with a big Pay Now button and very specific instructions, if you need to take action on one of your auctions. Same deal with my listings. We can come in here. We see we've got like a Mooka for sale here with this test account. I can very easily add a listing. And in this particular case, I can choose to sell either a collectible or a comic. And so let's just say, let's go sell a common here. I can choose, of course, to sell it as a fixed price or an auction. I can enter the value, and then I could move ahead and click continue to list that in the market. And of course, we've included here the floor price of this particular comic, so you can actually get an understanding before you sell it, really what the lowest floor price is. But just remember that that's, if you have a good edition, that may influence that. So of course, we always recommend you do your own research when listing your items. And then of course, you can browse by brand, etc. So really, we're just wanting to make sure that the web platform is very much in line with what we've got in the app. And really, myself and the team have been using this fairly significantly over the past couple of months. And it is so much easier to use than the app. I'm not saying the app, there's anything wrong with the app, but when you're sitting at a computer like me all day, and probably like a lot of you guys, being able to use the web platform just really makes the experience, I guess, feel not quite so claustrophobic. So really excited about rolling that out, and then all the additional features we have coming.
And if I'm not mistaken, for those who have Omi in their Omi wallet, that will also be reflected in the web platform as well, as opposed to having to go to the separate web wallet.
Yep, that's correct. I didn't show the profile section, but yeah, you have full control over all of your wallets exactly in the same way. And eventually, everything that is in the web wallet now, which is omi.veve.me, all of that will be migrated and integrated into the web platform, and that will become the one web platform that we use for all of our features, browser-based features moving forward.
All right, so awesome. That looks fantastic. I'm really excited for that. Let's move on to just a few announcements as we kind of get towards the Ecomi Omi side of things. But just to wrap up on the Veve side, David, can you tell us a little bit more about how the Ukraine refugee relief effort went with the Ron English drops?
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for all the fans who participate on this remarkable event that we came together in such a short space of time to do this relief effort. The total amount of money we have donated to the Red Cross New Zealand is over $782,000. And this is obviously, we have mentioned, it is taking out the Google, Apple platform fee, the sales tax, and the net revenue are to be donated. And the funds already have been distributed to where it's already needed from the phone call I had with Red Cross. And, we do have a message here from the Red Cross Secretary General addressing for our fans and our audience here.
I'm so grateful to Veve, the whole Veve community. This is an incredibly generous contribution. It's $782,000 towards the Ukraine crisis. We know that families and communities are really suffering, and the work of the Red Cross in the Ukraine and also in neighbouring countries means that those individuals and families can be supported through what is just an extraordinarily difficult time. So to David, to Veve, and to the Veve community, thank you so much for such an amazing way to support those in the Ukraine that need it the most. Kia ora.
Great. That's amazing to know that the community was able to come together and know that they were helping in some way. But that is not the last we're going to see of some Ukraine relief efforts. Is that correct? We're really working on a few other drops with some other artists. Do we have any news on that right now, or do we want to just tease it a little bit?
Yeah, a number of artists have reached out to us, and they really this whole thing really clicks with them. Emphasize they want to bring out special releases. We are closely monitoring. We also do want to make sure that there are collectability around this for the users to get that utility value, knowing that the money is going to go into a good cause as well. So, we will be announcing more to come. The relief effort, as all our audience should know, is that it's not just going to be a one-off thing. We do strongly believe that it's going to take a number of years, if not a long period of time, to help these refugees or the regions to get back up on their feet again.
Great. That's great to hear. Okay, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about some new programs. I saw a funny meme, by the way, this week that said, all I wanted was MTL, but all I got was this crummy promo code. Funny, sure, but this promo code is actually really cool, and it's actually going to add a lot of the utility to our efforts that we've been talking about and the community has been asking for. So let's go into a little bit about what we saw with the comic promo code with the Marvel exclusive, and then future use cases for that.
Yeah, Alex, you're exactly right. This new feature opens up a significant layer of utility on top of Veve. We getting a lot more interest from our licensors and artists and partners about some form of real world utility, and obviously we needed a way that we could link that. So let's say you go to event X, the ticket that you have has a promo code on it, which we obviously work with our partners to provide, and then that promo code can be entered into Veve to get specific and dedicated collectible drops related to that particular event. And obviously this could apply to many, many different things. So we are going to continue building on the promo feature. And we ran one just recently with the team, the Marvel Unlimited team over at Marvel. Marvel Unlimited is the comic book subscription app that Marvel owns and operates. And the whole idea here was that they had a big program running, and they wanted to send out these promo codes to their Marvel Unlimited fans to introduce them to Veve and digital comic NFTs. And really overall it was a great success. So very much looking forward to using this feature to offer an extended engagement to our users in the future.
And that could be anything from maybe a little more elegant way to do the, buy a movie ticket and get the NFT, or rather the other way around, or, at events that we're going to be showing up in the future, that if you buy something physical, then you can redeem the digital counterpart or whatever the case may be. I think it's amazing, and I'm really looking forward to kind of working on some of those programs with our licensors.
Okay. I've got to say, I do love the meme.
Say that. I'm sorry, one more time.
I've got to say, I do love the meme.
I do. Yeah. Well, our community is funny most of the time. When I'm not on the receiving end of the joke. Okay. Let's talk about then. We touched a little bit about it right now, but physical and digital product update. I know we've mentioned in the past, and even when we were at DCon in Anaheim this late last year, we had a sign up for Ron English's Rabbit Grin, statement of interest rather, for Ron English's Rabbit Grin. Can you tell us about where we're at with that and any future physical digital efforts?
Yeah. So that the physical pieces have arrived to the regions that we are going to be sending them out. We have finalized the artwork of the NFT version of it. We had a bit of delay with supply chain, as everyone knows that there was disruption. Once the artwork is minted, which I think will be coming weeks, we'll be basically going through putting all their blockchain numbers onto every certificate. We have an expression of interest. We'll be reaching out to these people. They are not your typical, $100, $200 collectible. They're in the thousands for this one. And we are working out logistically how we distribute the product out without fans selling that in the secondary market. This is a fully art collectible piece. It's not just an NFT. It comes with a full shebang in the box. Everything is well packed. What we don't want is we send out the code for the NFT. the users start selling a secondary market. They reach out to us to say, well, I no longer own the NFT. Could you send the physical piece to elsewhere? So logistically, we want to make sure that it's going to be a very smooth transaction in that. We are in full discussion with a couple very large physical toys and collectible manufacturers right now, brands that you already know. You probably already collect them. They sell, if not in the tens of hundreds of millions of these collectibles throughout the world. And this is part of the whole thing why redemptions and all these physical clone what we call as a digital physical piece are being part of our roadmap. We will be rolling something out this year. We do want you to stay tuned. We do have some very exciting programs, and just stay put on that.
Awesome. Right on. All right, moving on to the, we're getting towards the end of season 3 here, and typically towards the end of seasons, we like to upgrade a collectible or two or improve things that we now have the engine or capability to improve. Not to say that anything's coming day and date with the season change, but is there anything you can tell us about any updates coming to collectibles in our collections these days?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It's coming towards our season. A lot of our fans know that we do some celebration on the upgrades. So I can announce one of them here, that we will be upgrading the DeLorean time machine. But this will only be upgraded to the interactive editions that you own. All right, so there are 2 of the 3 editions that's interactive. So those 2 will be. And we will also have another brand with 2 pieces of the work that will be upgraded, and then we'll be announcing as part of our release drop coming up.
Awesome. That's perfect. I love that. Finally, we can drive around that DeLorean time machine again. All right. Let's keep on with the announcements. Look, restrictions are loosening all around the world in terms of in real life events. We were able to get out to DCon last year to meet all of the Veve fam, but unfortunately we were not able to be at either of the major Comic-Cons last year for a number of reasons. But we do plan on having some presence at some events this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, certainly. We do have. I believe that the DCon event we got in UK, we got the Anaheim.
Wait, hold on. We got to back all the way up here. That is big news. I hope you know that you're going to get Europe through the roof with that news. Can we just say it one more time with emphasis? Did I hear DCon London?
Yeah, we did. We have entered in a new partnership deal with DCon, and also. The whole program means we have a great offerings and new collectibles that will be coming out. Once again, the designer toys it's a big business. It's an important business in the industry. Celebrates a lot of these talents that eventually they move up to working for these large studios. So we want to encourage all these emerging artists. So that's coming, and obviously without balancing the other side, we will need to be in some of these comic events. So we have put our hands up, obviously, for the San Diego Comic-Con. We are also looking to investigate on the New York Comic-Con. They are run by different organizations. It's very likely we will be partnering with our licensors with these events running conjunction. And this is one of the reasons why it is very important that we get all these redemption codes, all these things ready, because by the time we get to that time, this thing should be running very smooth.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd maybe have some kind of that in real life utility where you possibly buy a physical item at Comic-Con and it's redeemable for the NFT counterpart. I think that's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm very excited for one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Or even just giveaways, for people attending to show their face to support us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, a T-shirt goes a long way, but a collectible. Well, I, for one, am very excited to meet our UK and Europe family at DCon London, and again, reunite with everybody who came out to DCon Anaheim. And we look forward to digging in a little more on details for possibly one, if not two, Comic-Cons this year. So stay tuned for details on all of that. But let's go ahead and move on to Ecomi and Omi updates. Lots to cover here. So obviously this is not my side of the house. So Dan, I'm going to let you kind of run with the agenda points here. Do you want to start us out with tokenomics?
Yeah, so well, how about I start? I mean, so obviously, you know, in this quarter, we did achieve one major milestone, which is the complete migration over to immutable and layer 2. That, you know, in itself has basically was the first step for us to really start expanding on all of the, you know, the NFT and the OMI side of things. So moving into Q2, one of the key focuses is to really start building out the OMI and the OUP functions that we've been discussing in previous AMAs and blogs on our Medium channel. So we are very aware of the state of play with the tokenomics, with the wallets, how they work, and this past few weeks we have been starting to dig into exactly what we can do to improve the tokenomics, to get that ecosystem to be a little bit more cohesive. As Dave mentioned earlier, there's a whole the business has changed quite a lot since we rolled out the initial tokenomics, and then obviously the past 12 months has been nuts and crazy. But now that things have settled a bit, we know where where the product direction is heading, and we very much want to start getting the OMI utility and OMI features built out into the app. That is kicked off with a review of the tokenomics and what we can do to improve that. I know there's a lot of questions around the reserve and around buybacks. All of those things we're basically addressing in this possible tokenomics update. Okay. That will also lead into the development of OUP, something that I'm also very excited about. I mean, being able to use OMI to NFT in the market, I think is going to be absolutely huge, just that one feature alone. And we have a whole lot of other little satellite things around that that we will be developing as down the roadmap. And that's also going to include things like being able to participate in the drop lottery, using your OMI to participate in the drop lottery, as well as using your OMI to buy other various things in the product as well. So as I mentioned earlier,
sorry, Dan, just for sake of clarification for the new folks there, when we talk about the drop raffle, I believe we were calling it now. Is that right? Okay. Yeah. So there's two of those happening, right? One as part of the Master Collector program, and one as part of the OMI utility program, or OUP. And that is separate from the waitlist, correct?
Well, yes. Technically, it is all part of the waitlist, right? So me as a user, I can go and join the waitlist. At that point, I have one entry in the waitlist because I've joined. Where the advantage, with the Master Collector program, the greater the level you are, the more of a Master Collector you are, you will basically get points, and then you can use those points to get additional entries into the waitlist. So rather than having one, maybe you'll have 5 or 10. And those same features get extended to OMI holders who can use OMI to basically buy additional slots in the waitlist.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we'll be addressing those tokenomics. We'll be working on the OMI utility program updates. Any updates on potential additional staking tiers?
That is still one of the last things that I need to work out with the OMI utility program, which we started kicking off more of our review and discussion around that these past couple of weeks as we lead up to Q2, where we're really going to start building out and focusing on a lot of these features. Okay,
great. We just announced being listed on Bitmart. David, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we continue to find new partnerships where we see and it fits in our mandates. Bitmart's a great exchange. We've been talking to them for some time. They now becoming the top 10 or the top 15, depending on what the trading value is throughout the days. How we really want to address the token listing is to ensure that we take anything as a long-term approach as how we deal with every matter. We don't want a quick fix by listing at the biggest and greatest and have one spike. How we really see our business going forward is all about building fundamentals, building users, building holders, and active communities. We're not really wanting to build this business for individuals or one or two whales to benefit from the most. So you will see our approach continuously, not just in Veve, but in Omi, is to ensure that there are trends, and we're going to see. We do monitor how many new active wallet, how many account, how much trading value, and how many fans or token holders in the Omi. And then we slowly move up in each tier of these exchanges as we go. So obviously we're on the top 10 exchanges. We already have another exchange that's top 10. We are looking for different spots, and you guys, I think users know who's on the top 10 and who's number one. We're going to get there eventually. We have the way how we operate this business. We think very long term. And partnership is not just about exchange partnership. It's about other external partners in the gamifications, other utility value in OMIs, how we can get all these other partnership engaged. It's all about getting more people involved, not getting more people just making money overnight, and this is it's just doomed to be fail, and just for one or two individuals to have the gains. And I just want to address, we do hear you, we know what exchange you want. It's not like you don't tell us every other minute. We are very
It's not like
close.
Uncle Jeremy's out tweeting that Binance should list us or anything.
Yeah, we in contact with most of the exchange. They do talk to us, maybe not in the daily or monthly, but when we see best fit in business practice, we'll engage. So do stay put. We do have more coming, but just keep in mind, they do coincide with everything I just mentioned to you. We do analyze the data. We want to see great holders. We want to see more fans, and we do want to see new fans. And, in every type of market, there's always new opportunity, and we use this opportunity to increase more new users. We use this opportunity to gather more holders as well.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So we touched on a few of these other things already, including. Let's talk about the bridge update. And I think the latest update from Reese is that we were still waiting on IMX on that as well. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So we're working with them to get that bridge completed on their side, which will, hopefully coincide with some of the interoperable features we'll be working on from Q2.
Okay, perfect. All right, Omi, in the app update, maybe you want to touch on this last bullet, or did we already talk about that?
I think we pretty much covered that, yeah. Okay. All of the OUP, OMI utility, all getting kicked off very early Q2.
All right, perfect. All right, well, gentlemen, this has been amazing. I know we've had, some time away from the fam, or you've had some time away from the fam. I'm usually, trolling people on Twitter, and I'll get better about that. I promise. I said it before, but it's always good to hear from you guys directly about what the vision for the platform is and what we're working on, and ways that we can continue to improve the entire ecosystem from Veve to the Omi side. So let's look forward to doing this on at least a monthly basis. Make sure that we're keeping everybody abreast of all of the updates. We will work on being as transparent as we can with some of the updates. We do hear you about where we're at on certain things, be it payout or MCP, etc. So we'll work on ways to kind of publish frequent updates either in the Discord or on Twitter or our Medium blog, etc. That said, for Reese, I've been Alex G here with David Yu and Dan, our co-founders here at Veve, and we appreciate you joining us today in this hour-long sesh. Please let us know either on Twitter or in the comments down below if you have any further questions, and we'll be sure to address them in a future Twitter Spaces or Discord AMA. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Any parting words?
Just like to say, once again, thank you to our audience. You have been, for the most part, patient. We discussed, we do listen to everything you say. We're, not sitting behind closed curtains. And we are just as eager to get a lot of these features out as you are.
Yeah, and just last word for me. Thanks for everyone again for the Ukraine relief. It means a lot in our community, and it's a great cause, and we hope everything will get better from here. And please do enjoy your collectibles and have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you, everybody. That'll do it for today, and we'll catch you next time.
Wow. So that was a lot of updates. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. Bearish, bullish. What do you think it's going to do to the Omi token? What do you think it's going to do to the collectibles market? And so, yeah, let me know in the comments below. We're going to go just chat mode here real quick. I'm going to exit this full screen mode real fast. All right, sweet. So I got the chat open live here for everybody to join in and chat. Thanks for hosting, Kyle. Hey, appreciate you for hopping in Crypto Night. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat, being active, and watching my channel and all the new subs. Much appreciated, fam. Much appreciated. We're going to go ahead and get the music back on just a little bit. So there we go. Soon says, Gunter Heisenberg, welcome in, man. Appreciate you for joining. George L. Neutral. Yeah, I think the KYC, I think a lot of people are going to naturally try, the squeakiest wheel always gets the grease kind of thing. And I think a lot of people are going to go out on Twitter. I don't think Twitter's going to be a healthy place till their minds fully recover from the dip. I think the dip's going to play into the KYC, oh my God, KYC, the market. And I still think we're not out of the rough waters. And but I do think that was a very bullish update in terms of what is coming on the horizon, as well as a demo of the web application, which I think was very much needed to see, even though it looked like it was filmed in 480p off of a Nokia phone from the 1990s, but otherwise, and maybe the replay will look better on the quality wise, because I know that can be an issue sometimes, but maybe no, yeah, they need to update the quality on that. Anyways, I think overall it was pretty good update. I definitely think they should host those more often. I would definitely like to see it, and I know a lot of you guys would like to see it as well. Hi there, can you do a summary, please? Thanks. So MTL, we're still waiting on that. They've kind of pushed that ball into New Zealand court, which makes sense. It's something I've speculated for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, I was getting emails from a previous exchange that used to be based in New Zealand. Actually, as a matter of fact, you used to type in, it was actually Cryptopia for you OGs that remember Cryptopia. It was like cryptopia.com, or it was like .nz is what it was. So it was based in New Zealand, a crypto exchange, and it was actually fairly decent. It was a fairly decent exchange. And they had to shut down, and that was probably due in part to a lot of regulation in New Zealand. They haven't necessarily always been super welcoming to crypto, and obviously with NFTs is another thing. Japan is another big country that has really strict laws on NFTs and crypto. I don't know about crypto specifically, but I know NFTs. I was reading a lot about their laws. So a lot of these countries are still updating their laws. They're still, basically going through the regulatory process. So MTL, unfortunately, they're looks like they're waiting on some red tape to pass through and making sure everything's bulletproof so that they will never have to shut down ever and won't have to worry about that once they do roll it out. Because, you know, yeah, I imagine that being a deal. And they don't want, I would imagine they don't want users to like launder money through the system. So they want to make sure everything's bulletproof and looking good on their end. And so not too surprised on MTL. I don't think any of us really were, because Alex said not a big update. So it's not very shocking that the MTL is still not. We still are probably going to be asking when. No change there. Then they said, what else in the chat? Oh, DeLorean about to pump. Yep. The 2 interactives will be, I think they said drivable. Is that correct? Probably the common, probably the ultra rare. The common pumped recently, then it went down. I imagine it'll pump again. So that will be cool. Something we'll be looking forward to. We've been looking forward to it for a long time. I think they wanted to make sure the Aston Martin, I guess, was drivable first. I don't really know the thought process on that, but so we got that. We didn't get drivable T-Rex though, so I'm a little upset about that. A little bit bearish on the no drivable T-Rex. Totally kidding. But yeah, so exchanges, David Yu says they're looking at it, some top 10 exchanges to be on. Essentially, they might already be in the process. With exchanges, you can't actually even say anything about exchanges. So he was very general about that. So I'd imagine they're already under contract with a top 10 exchange. Looking at, like I said, I've been in the space for a very long time. I have seen a ton of projects and I've literally watched them list on exchanges. I know pretty close to what exchanges they're going to list on because I've seen this like time and time again. Like I said, I'm not new to this space. And I've been able to predict pretty closely some of the exchanges that even Omi is listed on. You know, Bitmart, I said that was going to be on Wobi, and it was on a similar exchange. Bitmart is pretty good. Actually, it's been around for a very long time. So there was that. What else? So they're looking at, I would go to CoinGecko and pull up that chart and see what the top 10 exchanges are. That'll probably be a good place to start. I think they're using like CoinGecko to kind of like for those metrics. So I think that might be a good place to start. I think that that part of it is bullish. So I'm very bullish on the exchanges and their strategy for that. The OUP and the tokenomics, they're looking at adding more utility. It sounded like what Dan said in the interview as well. So that's something I'm bullish on too. Something I expected. They're not done. They're not done adding utility. The burns are still happening. Burns are like everything's still burning on the back end. And you know, yeah, the token may not look healthy right now, but that's just where it is. Like you know, I think if you fast forward a year or two from now, things are going to be in a different place, different world, and a different reality when it comes to the OMI token, the OUP, and utility there, what they're in. Anybody hear about buybacks? I don't think they're doing that until they get everything dialed in. I don't know if buybacks are going to be a thing until you know, more laws get passed and things like that or whatever, right? So I don't know if that's going to be coming back anytime soon. I don't even know if that's even needed with the amount of burns that are happening with the token being low. Like with these drops happening, they're selling out more. I mean, the burns are still happening. I mean, do they need to buy back tokens? I don't necessarily know. You know what I mean? They could just add in another OUP utility and, you know, that could be equivalent to a buyback, you know, or something of that nature. You know, I don't know. I'm no tokenomics expert, but I have been pretty close to right about a lot of the utility. And I always told, and before utility even came out, the OUP came out, I told everybody it was coming, that they were working on it, that it was going to release and drop, and nobody believed me back then. And then they dropped it, the OUP program. So yeah, so it's something I'm still bullish on. It is a long-term play. So if you're like a day trader, maybe you're not, this ain't the project for you. But yeah, thank you, Pokemon. Nothing on buybacks. Reese covered it in his most recent interview though. Nothing on Pokemon or gaming. Yeah, I was literally hoping they would announce the Epico Regal partnership, which is actually a bummer. And I hope they do that very soon. it's something that is very much needed, and I think I would like to participate in a game while I'm waiting for drops. Like, it's the reason why, you know, a lot of us are on the HRO. Is it's cool, it's like gamified leaderboard, like, so I would love to see Veve do the same, Ecomi, whatever. I don't know how they're going to partner with Epico to what, you know, but I hope they announce that very soon. They didn't say anything about that. What else? Sales tax on every gym purchase. Anyway, get the Banksy. Yeah, Banksy's, he did have that in the background, and he has alluded, and a lot of his like Instagram photos, his house, his like his reels is like he likes to tease stuff, and that's something that I have noticed. And so yeah, that's something I do expect. He already has Banksy's on his David Yu has Banksy's on his toy collectible website. If you go to vagabond.nz or whatever it is, I can't remember the exact address because it's a New Zealand website, but Vagabond, he has Banksy goods for sale on his website. Like, you could buy it. So David Yu has premium collectibles in his toy store ready for you to buy. So I think Banksy's is coming. I don't know when, but I'm almost certain that we will get Banksy's, which is huge. Banksy's this huge, you know, worldwide known artist, and that's something that will not only, if that drops, that's going to attract a lot of big name artists that will take Veve very, very seriously if they're not already, you know. So anyways, there's that. What's Banksy's? Just go to Netflix. I think there's a documentary about Banksy's called Through the Gift Shop, I think it is. Was a really big hit on Netflix several years back. Seriously doubt they'll release Banksy one-of-ones. We see it. Seriously doubt that. Yeah, I don't know if they'll do one-of-ones, but I bet they'll do a low run, depending on the piece. I mean, he's got some really phenomenal pieces, you know. He really does. So I like him. I'm a big fan of his art. I don't necessarily know like what all the meaning is. I just think his art's really cool. When I look at it, I just could, like, my mind gets to working, and it's something I don't like necessarily know the true meaning behind it, but it does get my mind thinking. And most artists, most artists don't do that for me like Banksy does. So I think Banksy's lets my mind wander and think and really appreciate the art. So I do like Banksy. He's one of my probably more favorite artists. Nothing about SCC here. Anyone see? Ecto 1 and Groot has new Disney Plus series. So there you go. Joe M, thanks for that. Says, bye DeLorean, Ecto 1 and Groot. Okay. All right. Ecto 1. I hope Ecto 1 goes drivable. That would be sweet. David, you did hint that there's going to be something coming soon that's also going to be interactive when he was talking about the DeLorean. That's something interesting that you want to definitely take note of. There could be, we know that there's going to be a Batmobile. We know he's had that on his, like, you know, he shared a demo of that before. So we know that that's coming in the future, which would be absolutely huge to have an augmented reality Batmobile that possibly drivable. I think that's huge. Also, low-key Speed Racer for my OG people. Speed Racer would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Formula One, that would be another cool brand to have in the Veve family. What else did they cover, guys and gals? Do you guys remember? When do you think market will be open? I'm not sure. I doubt Banksy will go through Veve, sadly. If he ever releases NFTs, he'll do it independently. I don't know. I wouldn't. That's what people are saying about Matt Gondik and all the other artists. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interoperable here. That was another update, is that Dan Crothers said that there's going to be updates Q2 which is literally around the corner. Mutable X, he said interoperability updates Q2. And they're waiting on the bridge, which is huge as well. The bridge will let us go back and forth from Omi, and I think you can already do that. But they're gonna have it to where, and I wonder this too, is when he said bridge, I kind of wonder if he actually meant OpenSea back to Immutable X, because that would be phenomenal. Because that would literally open the entire ecosystem to Immutable X. Like, that would be massive, and that's what probably is coming here in the not so distant future. So I would hold off on any thoughts of being Banksy's not dropping on Veve, because if he drops on Veve and it is interoperable, and we already saw Frank Kozik and Jermaine Rogers opt in to interoperability, and they've already publicly stated that. So I could definitely see Banksy's coming to Veve, because the users are there, the money's there, the fandom's there, everything's there. If you did it independently, I don't think you would just get, I think it would be fine, but I just don't think there'd be as much hype behind it. I think if you did it on Veve, being on the same platform as Disney, that's going to be huge for his own brand, and I could definitely see him doing that. That's my thoughts. Thank you for subscribing, Hob. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Red Circle, Big Red Army, Big Red Circle, however, you know what I mean. Welcome to the fam. It'll be drivable alligator, Loki, CSR. Dude, yeah, that would be awesome. Can we display our Veve NFTs on a picture hanging on the wall? I mean, yeah, you can already do that in your showroom. Yeah, you could broadcast it in, like, do the drag and drop with your finger and put it on the wall. And I think that pinning will be something in the future for sure. I think they just have to update the app and add that feature in there. I think that will be possible. Like I said, I've been saying this since the beginning days of Veve. 2Ds are slept on, and those will be the easiest pieces, like, in long run. It'll be they're all long term, and, like, if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, not financial advice, by the way. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. Some of those pieces will be easy to make some moolah on. Thanks about the documentary. We'll check. Yeah, no problem. Sure, I'm on Twitter. Sure. So I'm on Twitter is going to be super talk. Oh yeah, Twitter. Yeah, I think the I don't want to say, but I think the people like that there's people that spend too much time on Twitter. Like I literally, like, that's why I went live today, because Twitter for me is just, it hasn't been very healthy, and the same people that are always there are, like, there's always the same fudders. Like it's like nothing new, right? And so it's not very refreshing. Like, it hasn't been in a second, but that's because crypto's been down. Like, crypto stocks, like the world economy, like, everything's been down, and everybody's, like, out to blame somebody else for their own problems. And so, anyways, I don't want to talk about that too much. Kyle, thanks for the great work. Hey, Herman, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you for joining in the chat, and welcome to the family. Thanks for being here today, and hope you have a great one or evening, because you might be on the other side of the world. Reason market is closed. Can't charge for dreams. Those dishonest people can just buy equivalent collectibles. Send it. Yeah, they could. They could, but who knows? I don't know. Can we display it? Okay, I already read that one from Herman there. Way too much Marvel, Disney in the app. Still no Jurassic Park. Yeah, I actually bought my Jurassic Park shirt recently, and I'm ready for it. I'm literally ready for it. I think they're gonna wait, and I called this a while back, is they're probably gonna wait for that new Jurassic Park movie coming here. I think it's in June or July. So I bet they will really. I bet that's a few months right around the corner. So be prepared for that, because I think that's gonna come around when the movie is going to come out. And I think there's going to be a lot of demand for that one. I mean, Jurassic Park is it's famous, right? And we all grew up with it, and they're still producing movies, and kids love it. They got shows. It's just a cool IP. It's just a cool brand. You know what I mean? So I think that one will do really good on the app, and I hope they don't do like a crazy amount of additions on some of them. I mean, a dinosaur in your showroom and an interactive T-Rex. Like, can you imagine? Like, it's stepping around, just goosh, goosh, goosh. I think that'll be fun. I thought I saw my wife comment in here somewhere. Did my wife comment? Did she say something? Let's see if I found. I could have sworn. Oh, my wife. I don't know. Way too much. Yeah. So I can't. Okay. So I really hope that other brands are taking notice of Marvel and Marvel Comics, and I really hope we do get, DC Comics. I really hope we do get other brands, and like there's a few, right? That there's the smaller ones, the smaller labels, and I wonder why did they even do that test? By the way, we saw that dog test. I wonder what that was all about. part of me, I don't know what that was about, but I think that it would be wise for another brand to be on Veve, because there's obviously collectors here. There's obviously the demand for it. They mentioned Omi to NFT, but do you think Veve or NFT to Omi is coming soon? Because in my opinion, that's the only thing that matters. I think that's going to be probably when they do the web app, I would imagine. I bet that's going to be a web app exclusive. And it sounds like they are probably a couple kinks they have to work out on the website, but I feel like they're close possibly on the web app. The web app didn't look beautiful. It didn't look like super, it looked like the mobile app, to be honest. But yeah, there's a couple of key extra features they put in there, or I don't know if they updated the app, but they added like color coded to rarities, like so we can see that like on the fly. Kyle, thanks for this great work. Herman says, hey man, appreciate you. I think I already read that comment though, I think possibly. But yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be key, NFT to Omi, and Omi to NFT. They didn't really mention that, but they alluded to features on the web app that they're planning on. So it's my speculation that the reason why they're taking a while is because I suspect that they could be doing an on-ramp, a fiat on-ramp as well. Not only just to gems, but obviously we know that fiat to gems is coming on the web app. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fiat to Omi. That would be huge, because we've seen Immutable X, and maybe that's why MTL is taking a while, is because they want to have it to where fiat to Omi directly without having to go to an exchange. Maybe that could be a possibility. I don't know, because that would be good for the wider macro ecosystem of crypto in general, and for investors to invest into the actual token. That would be big there, but I don't know, that's speculation. But if you look at Immutable X, you can clearly see that they have a fiat on-ramp already for Ethereum and USDC, on layer 2. So I think that's huge. That's big. That precludes what could be coming right around the corner when we know Omi is like a universal token already on Immutable X. So I think that's going to be huge. And maybe that's why MTL also might be taking a little bit longer, but I think it'll be well worth it. And when we do find out, if they do release that, we will probably hit ourselves like a little bit because we were so impatient with MTL. But if they do something like that, I think that could be huge. But you would have to have you'd have to have your like your legal stuff in a row, your ducks in a row, right? And so, yeah. Could you please tell us what they said on MTL? We're still waiting on that. They kind of just beat around the bush on that one, and said that they're working on it. They got to work on like the final stuff and blah blah blah. It's because New Zealand kind of thing. So kind of what we've heard the past like few months already, which is not a surprise. I didn't think MTL was going to come with that update, but I think that'll be soon. I just agree there was some def nuggets in there, maybe not what everyone wanted to hear, but new news nonetheless. Yeah, I agree, Michael B. I think that was some pretty good updates that we needed to hear. I love that. I love that update because we needed that, but at least I'm glad Alex did downplay it, because if everybody was speculating MTL and that didn't happen, that would be way more negative. We do know KYC's coming. Which is probably going to weed out a lot of fake accounts and a lot of bots, which is fine by me. Not too surprised they're going to do that, because ultimately, if you're a global NFT project and platform and you're operating in like literally like every country almost, yeah, that's obviously going to be like a thing, like anti-money laundering and KYC. That's like not a surprise. You look at countries like Japan and New Zealand that basically require that. And so not a big surprise there. Like the decentralized guys probably aren't going to be so happy. So I don't know what they'll do. Now, if they do interoperability on Immutable X, then I could see that being possibly a way to get around that. You won't be able to get the drops on Veve, but you'll still be able to buy it on Immutable X. So I would imagine there's a back door to that in a sense, and you will still be able to buy Veve NFTs without having to do KYC, possibly through third-party marketplaces like OpenSea and Mintables and Immutable X. That's pure speculation, but that's something that I would expect. Did they mention Omi to NFT? Okay, so cool. I'm not getting as many chats here in the chat, so I'm looking to close out this stream. And once again, I appreciate everyone for joining in today and for taking part in the chat here. We have a lot of amazing people and new subscribers as well to the Omi Homie Big Red Circle fam. So welcome everybody in. And yeah, don't forget to smash the like button real quick. Just go ahead, whether it's this way or that way, go ahead and smash that like button wherever it's at. I don't know where it's at, this way or that way, but go ahead and smash it, because if you like the stream, totally unbiased, you don't have to do it. Hit that sub and bell so you don't miss any more streams like this as well. J East Music, let's go, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, that's all I got for this stream. Much love and appreciation to y'all, to the fam. Hey Kyle, can you please tell us what they said? Oh, I already read that. I keep reading the same one. They said that they're testing with 60 people, but 1.5 to 2 million. That's a way off. What do you think? Yeah, I think they need more. I think that they definitely need way more. I'm not sure what they're testing on. I think maybe how the app is connected to that third-party app is maybe, I think, what they're more on the lines of testing. I don't know if they're necessarily testing the actual third-party stuff. They're just testing making sure that the database is secure, making sure that every step is not only secure, but it actually is connected in a way that it doesn't break, where and all the information passes through securely without having to worry about hacker. They could also be running it through which I'm sure they already are, and this could be more why it's only 60 users, is because that they are going through a security audit with a third-party security company, and which is pretty typical of companies like Veve and software companies that have crypto and NFTs, is they go through security audits with third-party security companies that they'll stress hack the platform. And so I'd imagine that they might be stress hacking the app possibly, and trying to find different ways to stress hack everything and make sure everything is solid before they keep onboarding more people. So I'd imagine maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's why there's not as many users just yet. I think we know the app can handle the amount of traffic. So I don't think it's that. I think it's probably tightening up security and obviously the MTL. So I think once those two things are done, regulatory and legal is done, and the stress hacking probably, or whatever they need to do on the back end, is done, I would imagine that's when we'll start hearing a bit more updates on MTL possibly, or in actual next phase of rollout with more users. Brian Stooksbury, thanks for joining the Big Red Circle fam. Thank you for joining, and I hope you're having a good day. All right, that's all I got. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one at the blockchain. And be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Oh yeah, don't forget about the Rewind Collective. It's coming March 30th. So if you missed my short, the Rewind Collective tweeted today, a few hours ago, that it's confirmed that they're releasing the rest of the Rewind collection on Veve March 30th. I don't know if Veve's actually announced that yet, but that's some alpha for you if you missed that. So I just want to make sure you didn't miss that quick little update from my short earlier today. So, all right. But yeah, I will see you later and at the blockchain. How do I think? So Monica, I've been seeing you lately. You're the you have a vlog, right? Before I end the stream, I'll answer your last question here. How do you think the NFTs would operate when out of Veve? So it'll be more like a picture. They said this a few times in the past, like in their AMAs, when they used to do like weekly AMAs. And it's basically like, once you take it off of Veve app, it's just going to be a 2D image basically, right? So like if it's on Immutable X or OpenSea, it's going to just look very plain, like a 2D image. It's not going to be augmented reality. You're not going to be able to put it in your showroom. You basically can't do anything other than just look at the 2D image or whatever. Like it's going to be very plain, very basic. And technically, like, you would be able to store it in a wallet or cold storage, whatever you want to do, but you literally won't have the ability to buy and sell it on Veve. You wouldn't have all the cool features, showroom. So it'd be like basically you would strip it down to like the metadata in a picture essentially. So that's how it would work. So literally there wouldn't be too many reasons to take it off app unless you want to do cold storage, right? So that would be the only benefit necessarily, you know, unless you just felt more comfortable having it in your own wallet or whatever. But that's how that would look. Emergent transfer, they said next week, but it was pre-recorded, so it might be this week. Gem transfer. Oh, okay. So gem transfer, yeah, in the wallet. Very interesting. So that could be an update too, coming soon. All right, family. I'm out. Catch y'all on the next stream. Be like an NFT, be authentic. Much love. Peace, love, Veve, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Cheers.